Everyone, Shannon Petrovich on Therapist Talks. How to find a loving life partner, or this could be subtitled, Why do I always pick the bad boys or the crazy chicks? Have you ever felt that your ability to pick your life partner is seriously broken? Have you been in and out of a lot of dysfunctional relationships and feel like you're never going to find the right person to spend your life with? Have you wasted years on the wrong people? You're not alone. The confusion over finding a life partner seems to get worse over the years rather than better. This video will give you 12 concrete tools to help you find the right person and not waste any more time on the wrong one. This is blunt, real, and no BS. Let's dig in. The overall issue is that you need to clarify your values and change your actions to match them. If you're just dating and having fun, then the dating apps and all that might be just fine. But ironically, a lot of times people say they're looking to settle down with someone and to have a real relationship, maybe get married or have a family, but they don't change anything about how they're looking or what they're looking for. If you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting what you've always got. So stop. Stop focusing on the typical superficial garbage and focus on the character qualities and values necessary to find someone capable of a real relationship. Easier said than done? Not really. It just means going deeper than swipe left or right. See, it's easy to have fun together or be attracted to somebody, but that's not the substance of life. It's time to take a big step back and really question, who's going to stay up all night with a sick kid? Or struggle through an issue? Or help out when my parents are getting old? Or camp out in the hospital when someone gets hurt? Who's going to be honest and dig in and work through the hard conversations? Who's going to stay the course even when the going is tough and things look bleak? Who's going to still be there when it's no longer fun? That's the one you can grow old with and trust in the hard times. You have to weed out that person who's going to bail, take the easy road, or find the next shiny thing. So how do you do this? Number one, ask the right questions. My favorite question to suggest to you is, what happened to your last relationship? By asking this, you're going to learn so much about a person, how they see relationships, what they're looking for, what happened and how they handled it, how they see themselves and how they see others, what they want moving forward. You also want to notice, do they blame others and not take any responsibility for their part? Do they have insights around what they did or didn't do, how they handled the breakup? Did they remain friends? Are they bitter? Are they resentful? Or do they own at least 50% and have compassion for the other person that they both did their best? Did they learn anything, and do they have any new commitments to try things differently? Number two, you need to truly listen for the answers and not just hear what you want to hear. What are they really saying to you? Are they open to talking about these things, or are they just annoyed? If they're rejecting this conversation, probably better move on. They're not really interested in a real relationship. Listen for answers that are deal breakers and move on. You're not going to change that person. Number three, watch their actions towards family, their friends, and towards you. Talk is cheap, action's not. A man who's rude to his mother is not worth your time. A woman who's hateful to others will be hateful to you. A person who's lazy or dishonest is not marriage material. They may be tons of fun to hang out with, but you need to go back to clarifying your values. Are you wanting to spend another year hanging out? If marriage and family are what you want, move on. Number four, watch their actions towards others. How we do one thing is how we do everything. Are they aggressive on the road? Do they put down the person who is down and out on the street? Are they rude to random strangers? Watch even for those little attitude indicators. Do they get angry, entitled, and belligerent to the waitstaff? Do they ignore you and watch someone else or their phone? Game over. Number five, next you want to watch what they do when they're stressed. How do they cope with disappointment, with the unexpected, with something tragic? Early dating life is usually not full of stress and tragedy, so ask about things that have happened in their life and listen for how they handled it. Do they dig deep or do they peace out? Are they that person who's there for others or not? Number six, these character qualities play out in a number of different ways, so here are some others to look at. A lot of people want to only marry somebody with a lot of money, but somebody who has money and doesn't work or take care of their money or is stingy or petty or spends foolishly is really not as good a prospect as someone who works hard, saves well, is generous but not foolish, and who treats you and his family well. That person is more likely the one that will make you happy in the long run. She will make a good living and handle it more maturely. Number 7, watch for addictions of all sorts. The obvious ones are substances, but also look at foods, things, gambling, and porn and gaming. 2 of the worst addictions dogging our young people today are gaming and porn. Saying everyone does it doesn't take away the way someone feels when their mate is more interested in porn or a game than in their partner. If someone's an addict and is not actively working to recover, do not make it your mission to fix them. You should never be working on someone else harder than they are working on themselves. Number 8, watch for entitled anger. Even if you feel you're magically placating his or her anger right now, and that may even be true, realize that this will be your role for the rest of your life, and that's a terrible way to live. Remember that the beginning of a relationship is everyone on their best behavior and not much stress in your lives. So multiply any negatives by 100 and you'll have an idea of what it might be like to be with them long term. Don't pretend in your mind that it will all be roses. It's not going to be. If they are reactive and angry over little things, it will be really hard to find support when life hands you guys lemons. Ask yourself when things are challenging, do you guys pull together or pull apart? Does he help or hinder? Does she support you or criticize? Number 9, can you laugh together at yourselves, at life, in the face of stress? When someone can work through things and laugh, or even faces stress with a quirky twist, that's golden in the hectic pace of life. This has to be laughing with and not at you or someone else's expense. But someone who doesn't take themselves too seriously and can laugh at themselves helps you face challenges together. Number 10, look at control issues. What happens when she's not in charge, when others don't do what she wants, when you don't do what he wants or the way he wants it, or at how he reacts to things when things don't go his way? What does she do when the chips are down? Does she peace out? Does she want to break up when things are hard? Does he argue until you cry and then lets up? That's all control at its finest. And when somebody is happy when in control and miserable when they're not, move on. Number 11, remember, you deserve to be loved, really loved, cherished, cared for, and cared about. If that person doesn't love you now, if they're lazy with their caring for you now, it's not going to get any better. It may get worse. When you have the stress of everyday life, it really ramps up the pressure on a relationship. So know that it's better to wait than to settle. Divorce courts are full of those who thought it was better to settle than be alone. These basic character qualities are the foundations of your lives together. Don't compromise on those. If he's gamey and won't tell you how he feels, don't waste your time. If she's manipulative and tries to make you jealous, move on. Number 12, do compromise on superficial things like looks or wardrobe or quirks, or even having common hobbies. It's nice if your hobbies match up, but as long as your partner isn't rigid and will try new things at times, you can develop hobbies together over the years. That person doesn't have to be a great skier if you're a skier, or a cyclist if you're a cyclist. You can have other interests that you learn to share or go your own ways and come back together with stories to tell. If you're not sure after hearing this that you are being a good life partner, then go to the 3 videos on emotional intelligence and they will help you work on yourself. But care enough about yourself to be careful about choosing a mate, someone who will be a partner, a refuge from the stressful world, a support, laughter at the end of a long day, and a co-adventurer in the journey of life. As it says in 1 Corinthians, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy or boast, is not provoked, thinks no evil, rejoices in truth, bears all, believes all, hopes all, and endures all. Abide in love. If you appreciated this video, hit like and subscribe, and leave me a comment, suggestion, or question in the comment section. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk to you again soon.